Where did the Phantom go? It's just a pile of clothes here. What ancient Phantom secret is he gonna pull out to get out of this bind?
I don't know if I trust this guy.
I don't know if this guy's for me. Welcome to Awesomely Awful, where we break down bad movies and how badly we love them. Today, we are breaking down the superhero movie that started it all. Before the MCU, before Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, before the X-Men, there was the ultimate superhero IP, the Phantom. Hell yeah. And here to break it down is our number one pal, Patrick McDonald, joining us on the couch.
I'm really excited to be here. This is a long time coming.
We're so happy to have you.
Yeah, I'm happy.
The number one Phantom fan.
I am the number one Phantom fan.
You put the fan in Phantom.
I put the PHAN in Phantom. Ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to talk about the Phantom with somebody because I got a ring from 7-Eleven. I got the Phantom ring. It was a promotion. I had the ring from the Phantom, and I imagined I was magic all the time with that ring. And I remember seeing it in theaters. My parents used to drop me off at 5 or 6 years old to see movies alone, and the Phantom was one of those things.
My God.
That is so young.
Yes.
Would any adults next to you try and elbow you immediately?
No. Not at all. I ducked down.
Didn't get inspired by the movie.
Yeah, nice try. Nice try, buddy.
So, without further ado, come on a little journey with us to experience the Phantom.
Where's your spirit of adventure?
Where are we going? The jungle? New York City? Or a fake Bermuda Triangle? Look out for pirates!
For those who don't know, this is based on a comic strip, and this is actually one of the first superheroes, the Phantom is, who came out 2 years before Superman.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, get the brown water out, right? This is the first
absolutely.
Draft kind of superhero.
He's a sloppy copy. Absolutely, and you can tell right away this man's a sloppy copy.
All right, so this movie opens 400 years ago, where a little boy's on a ship. It's getting attacked by evil pirates.
Yeah.
He washes ashore, and this local native tribe decides that this, random washed-up white boy should be bequeathed their magical pirate fighting ring for absolutely no reason.
Listen, we've all had our thing with a washed-up white boy. I'll tell you that much. Am I right, fellas? Who hasn't been there? The magic of a washed-up white boy. I'll tell you that much.
They forced white savior on him so fast.
Oh, yeah, he didn't even want it.
He's sitting there as they're coming towards him with the ring, and he's like, what the hell
What's going on? They dump so much exposition so fast at the top of this movie.
Yeah.
Once the Phantom comes, they spend no time. They're like, and here's the Phantom.
Yeah, this is not a Phantom origin story.
No.
No.
It's kind of the Phantom ending story. This is kind of the last time we ever see the Phantom.
No one refuses the Phantom.
Goodbye.
We jump forward to 1938, where the rest of the movie takes place, and where Indiana Jones is actually a bad guy in this one.
Yeah.
And when he does steal the Crystal Skull in this one, it activates the Phantom. He suits the hell up. We're talking eye mask, full purple suit,
Yeah.
pure white horse, and wolf.
2 animal sidekicks.
Yes. I was watching him on the white horse in the purple outfit with his gun running through the jungle, and I thought, what year is it? That's all. I kept being like, where are we? What is this? There's no way they're making Lycra in the jungle. I don't know what's happening.
Despite suiting up and enlisting the help of his horse and wolf, the Phantom fails. He does not stop evil Indiana Jones from taking the skull. Back at the Phantom lair, shirtless Phantom hits the ancient tomes hard and discovers that if these 3 magical skulls that exist get united, oh boy, it's bad. More powerful than 1,000 times the greatest explosive.
Yeah.
Which is written in an ancient text. It's more powerful than an atom bomb. It's this was written 2,000 years ago.
Oh, no, I have a lot of problems with the ancientness of all of this.
Then the ghost of his father appears out of nowhere,
Yeah.
immediately scolds the Phantom, and is like, you let them get the skull? We've been guarding that from these pirate people for 400 years. It's great, but didn't he just discover what these were 2 minutes ago? From there, we cut to a fancy mansion party in the States where we meet the female hero of this, the love interest of the Phantom, Diana, who's a plucky rich girl who we know isn't like other rich girls because she eats a bologna sandwich.
What's in the sandwich?
Baloney.
I'd like to see a Rockefeller do that.
Diana's uncle sends her on a mission to investigate a drawing of a spider web. And in any other movie, a little, drawing or sketch of a spider web probably wouldn't be that big of information. But the cool thing about this movie is that it is.
Yeah.
This little drawing
Well,
of a
that's all you
spider web is huge information.
It'll
for
get
some
you to a
reason.
specific spot in a specific jungle. I'll tell you that much.
So the villain of this movie, Drax, the greasy businessman who's power hungry,
Yeah.
sends his sky pirate, Catherine Zeta-Jones, to hijack the aircraft that Diana's in and abduct her, essentially. That sets the Phantom off on his overall mission in this movie to save Diana and prevent Drax from accumulating all 3 skulls.
Interesting. Excuse me.
The Phantom never looks cool. Ever. Throughout the entire movie.
And what's wild is Billy Zane, just by himself, shirtless, looks very cool.
He looks
does.
cool.
He looks cool.
Listen to your friend Billy Zane. He's a cool dude.
But the Phantom does not look cool. I have too many examples to count, so let's just start with the one that really kicked off this topic for me.
Ladies, kindly pardon my error.
How uncool does that look?
I would say, no, it's really bad. I would say that maybe the safety meeting was taken too seriously. And my theory is that Billy Zane was so focused and cared so much about safety that nothing looked cool.
When stakes are high, that is when any superhero should be at their coolest, slickest. And this moment here where he's running towards trying to chase bad guys, going down an elevator is one of the least cool moments I've ever seen in a movie.
Oh, yes.
You ready for a zoom?
Oh, yeah. Here we go. That's a great zoom.
Oh my god!
Look at that.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's smooth.
It gives you no faith in him as a superhero.
Exactly.
I'm like,
he looks like a
he's-
buffoon.
Yeah, you're like, is he gonna do this?
I do have a list of moments that we aren't going to watch all of them, but I do have a list of moments of him just not looking cool at all. The Phantom walks off a boat. The Phantom swings on a rope.
Yeah.
The Phantom shoots pirates with his arms crossed.
Okay, hell yeah.
The Phantom rolls over a cannon. The Phantom unholsters his gun and takes a few steps forward. I can't tell you how uncool that moment looks. But with all that said, I do think maybe I've been a little hard on him, and I'm sorry, the Phantom, because he does have one of the greatest 2-man takedowns I've ever seen in my life.
Where did the Phantom go? It's just a pile of clothes.
Oh, I love that. Oh, yeah.
And
Where'd the Phantom go?
I'm right here, and then
And you go here, and you go like this.
And then we go,
and I
and then
call
we
you.
die. What is that move?
Oh, it works. Whatever it is, it works. And it works for me. I love it.
We have spent a lot of time talking about the Phantom, the protagonist, but let's talk about the antagonist, the big bad villain, Mr. Drax.
Yeah, I've never clocked a villain faster than I clocked Drax. When he walked in, I was like, that's the villain. He's wearing a hat, mustache. I was like, that's the villain. And then they're like,
Why is Xander Drax here?
I was like, yep, I was right.
Yeah, Xander Drax.
Starts and ends with an X.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what he tells you.
And that's what he says.
Xanderdrax. Xander Drax. Begins and ends with the letter X.
It's
Yeah.
funny because they decided all the comedic relief needed to land on Xander Drax. And he's doing a lot of heavy lifting while also being the villain because Billy's not making jokes because he doesn't
You don't kid.
You're kidding, right?
I never kid.
So now they have to deal with it, where it's like, well, he has to be interesting and evil, and we have to hate him, and he's got to be hilarious. And he's none of those.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Xander Drax is someone who's like incredibly over the top psychotic while simultaneously being not scary or intimidating at all.
No, but he has very interesting ways of being evil, like the microscope.
Yes,
The microscope.
that's a great setup, gentlemen.
Oh, one more thing, if you don't mind. I'd like your professional opinion on something under this microscope.
Couldn't even give him a specific.
No.
On something in this microscope.
Here, let me hold your glasses.
Here, I'll hold your glasses.
And I'll tell you, before I leave somewhere, I would never quickly check a microscope. Liar!
Oh!
So the thing that I want to talk about here is how small you would have to write the word liar.
That's
for it to come up in the
dude.
microscope.
Yeah. It's what I also wrote down.
It's like revenge. Liar. This is gonna get this man.
Well, I guess you won't be needing these anymore.
His violent streak doesn't end there. Sometimes he's got to be coy with the way that he institutes violence and his intimidation. And other times, he's just got to be direct.
Count me out. This is wrong.
Right.
Skulls, forces of darkness. This isn't right.
Sit down, Ray.
Hey, the only power I believe in comes out of the barrel of a gun, not from some jungle souvenirs.
Okay, Ray, that's how you feel about it.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man! Nobody reacts.
No.
Nobody reacts. He must do this all the time.
Constantly.
I almost wanted him to go like, that's fine, Ray. But before you go, can you look at something under this microscope really quick? What I love about this, too, is just the setup. He's an evil mobster, but it's like too spooky evil for him, which is what I love.
It's
He's like,
unnatural.
skulls? Spooky untold powers of evil? What is this?
The only power I believe in comes from the barrel of a gun.
Not spooky skulls.
No, guns are God to him. I believe in the power of God, aka a gun.
Having an evil guy who loves guns and killing being like, what is this, skulls? is hilarious.
The craziest thing about the Phantom for me is figuring out what his superpower is and his talent, and the only thing I can point to is his guns. His only special talent is his guns.
Yeah.
And truthfully, he's not even good at anything he does, and every problem he's in, he gets out of with his guns. And he's this ancient creature that relies completely on guns.
My God, you're so right. What did he do 400 years ago?
What were they doing? This is when I really was shocked, where it was like, oh, we're meeting the Phantom. He's gearing up. He's getting ready to go. And then, well, let's check it out. He's got the mask on.
No nipples, though.
No nipples, of course not. Ring.
Ring.
Belt. Holster. Gun. Modern pistol. You're like, what creative thing is this guy gonna do now that he has a gun? I'm like, I am actually not interested in what a man with a gun is about to do in the jungle.
I feel like Ray would love the Phantom.
The only power I believe in comes out of the barrel of a gun.
Ray would be like, oh, this guy got guns? That's my guy.
He'd be really excited, then he'd see a skull ring.
Yeah.
Skulls?
Whoa, is that
Oh,
a
skull?
What is that? He's walking around the jungle with a gun. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
And then you realize as things are happening, he gets into these pickles and you're like, how is he going to find his way out of it? Well, let's see what he does. What is he going to pull out? What ancient phantom secret is he going to pull out to get out of this bind, right? Spoiler, he uses a gun. I wonder how he's going to use his phantom wiles to save this child. Probably some ancient secret, right? The gun. Uses a gun to create a swinging vine.
It's always the gun, baby. Oh, and you thought he never looked cool?
Excuse me. He shoots a vine with a gun. If your superhero needs to use a gun, he's not a superhero.
Correct.
Yeah, he's not even like good at something.
No.
He doesn't have like anything he's good at.
No, and he doesn't like know a lot about a specific thing.
I would love to know what his like comic book powers are. If there's any specific...
There aren't.
There
He
aren't
does
any?
not have powers.
Does he have guns?
He does have guns.
He has guns in the comic? Why is he walking around I don't want him in the jungle with a gun. Halfway through the movie, it's revealed he has 2 guns. That's kind of the twist for me. Surprise, he has more than 1 gun. I don't know what to tell you, man. You're not a superhero.
You're not a superhero.
No.
You're just a guy who lives in the jungle and has guns.
All right.
So we've discussed the skulls a lot.
Skulls?
And they play a very important role in this movie. So one of the bad guys gets the skull, brings it back to Drax, right? We've talked about that. Then there's the scene in the boardroom where he's like, hey man, so we have 1 skull. If we have 2 skulls, then we can use those 2 skulls to find the 3rd skull. At which point the guy's like, skulls, and gets killed. Well, the 2nd skull is in New York, just chilling in a museum.
I also love the Phantom's approach to acquiring the 2nd skull. It is such a non-event. We're literally like, oh yeah, it's like at this museum. He goes there, he's like, I'm just gonna smash this glass. Boosh, smash, turn around, Drax is there.
Drax is there. So now he has 2 skulls in which you can use to find the 3rd skull.
And by the way, he's like, there's sandwiches in the other room and everyone leaves. This is the depression. Everyone's like, a sandwich? I'm f***ing out of here. I gotta go.
I think there was little microscopes.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of sandwiches. Just look at these microscopes.
One by one.
Directions to the sandwiches are under this microscope.
Well, they need to clear the room because they need to put the skulls together to find where to go. Thank God that there's a very specific map of Southeast Asia up in the corner of the room so the skulls could point a light beam right at it.
That was my big question. I thought these skulls know what a map is?
My thought
Are these ancient?
My thought is, what if there's not a map in the room?
Yeah, it just points to the nearest map of Southeast Asia. Burrows through the room.
It would burn through walls, it would burn through people. It would, any object in its way of a map, it would get to it.
God, there was one in the room.
Thank God they were in a room where there was a map.
They end up taking the skulls to a pirate island.
Yeah.
To find where the 3rd skull is. That's what the map was showing.
And this is my favorite type of movie, which in the Act 3 you go, oh, so we're doing this now. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
We're working on something for an hour, and then the last 30 minutes, oh, we're doing this.
And then they get to the island, and they are pirates, and there's the Pirate King, who we all, of course, know as Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat.
Yes, that's who he is.
The rules are quite clear.
Talk about cool. He is so much cooler in 4 minutes than the Phantom is the entire movie.
Oh, yeah, big time. It does feel very much like the writers remembered in the 3rd act of like, wait, isn't the Phantom's whole thing like the rings to fight piracy? We don't have any pirates. Oh,
yeah.
Put pirates out.
Put pirates in. They're just pirates, just like
pirates.
what are they? Just at the island doing what? Sitting around.
They
in the
live
pirate
there.
ship.
They live there.
They sit on the pirate. There's a pirate ship there. They sit on it.
So when they get to the island, the pirates have the 3rd skull.
Yeah.
Some stuff happens and they pretty easily get it. Unfortunately, they learn that they need a 4th skull to control the 3 skulls.
Yeah.
That felt so unearned.
So unearned.
Besides, you don't have a 4th skull.
4th skull? What 4th skull? What are you talking about? There is no 4th skull.
But luckily, as we talked about earlier, and we've all seen the 4th skull, Phantom has it on his finger.
Yeah, he does.
It's his ring.
I thought it was 50-50 between the belt and the ring, to be honest.
Can I be honest?
I wish it was.
I thought it was going to be his real human skull. I'm serious. And he was like, I've had it my whole life. I was like, his head's about to start glowing. And it's going to be the craziest thing I've ever seen. And then he pulls out his tiny little ring.
Oh,
and I was
my
like, this
goodness.
would be insane.
The ring is incredibly powerful.
It is.
And it does lead to definitely the best death in the movie. And honestly, this is how I actually want to go out. So remember that, boys. Unbelievable! And he's smiling and he laughs. He is smiling and he laughs. Doesn't that look like the best way to die?
Let's normalize saying unbelievable before we die. Even if it's cancer. Even if it's just laying quietly on a bed. Unbelievable. One of my favorite things in The Phantom is the acting choices of the main villain. I can tell that he had to change some lines to make them in a way that he felt more comfortable. Because I can't imagine this is written in the script, how he says this.
You've only got the one.
Legend has it that if the skulls are separated, 2 of the skulls will point the way to the 3rd.
Like Like I said, you only got
Ray. I need to look
Raymond, Ray. That is like candy for me. Raymond, Ray. It's like he didn't need to say that man's name 4 times.
I like to think that it's not in the script and that he was told during his monologue there'd be no interruption. And that actor's name is Ray.
Well, no, the actor's name is Raymond. The character's name is Ray. Raymond, Ray. I love how annoyed he is because that is like the second or third time that Ray's like, you only have one skull.
I know.
Like, dude, hold on.
He's been wanting to throw a javelin at that guy for years.
I love a funny name, and in the credits of this movie, we do get one of the best I've ever seen.
Really?
Executive producer, Dick Vane.
Dick Vane.
Dick Vane.
Oh my God. Dick Vane, go
Amazing.
off. King.
And this is not from the 40s. This is a man walking around in the 90s.
I miss the 90s when you could have names like that and be successful.
I don't know, guys. You look at it, you got skulls and dick veins everywhere.
I was an altar boy.
I
It's too much.
the Church of the AK-47. Jesus Christ.
Not Jesus Christ. Jesus
No,
Gunn.
Jesus Gunn.
So Phantom offers to take the lead and is like, I got it from here. His confidence in taking the agency away from this woman and then immediately it going awry, like instantly,
Unbelievable.
is comical, but it's not even played for laughs.
No.
It just happened.
I think we should stick together.
Okay.
I guess what I meant to say is I think we should stick together, but I should go first.
Immediately.
That
Wow.
kills me.
That's
so
I
good.
died. I died when I saw that.
He's really, really bad at what he does.
He is horrible at what he does.
The worst
Phantom
in
is
the game.
terrible. I don't know about him.
I don't know if I
I
trust
don't
this
know
guy.
if I trust this guy. I don't know if this guy's for me.
When Sean and I and Patrick watch bad movies, we rate them on a scale of -10 to 10, where a -10 is a movie so bad that it's good, and a 10 is a movie so good that it's good, and a 0 is a movie so bad that it's just bad, and we don't want to watch it. Sean, what would you give this thing?
I would give the Phantom because he's got the greatest, most iconic outfit of all time. Dang, is he kind of okay with guns sometimes. He's got a horse and a wolf that talk to each other. There's a couple crazy moments that really pump up the whole rest of this movie. Like you'll know every 20 minutes or so something bonkers is going to happen with the action. But overall, I think there's a couple spots that drag for me. I'm going to give it a -5.
It's pretty good.
Patrick, what are you giving this thing?
I love how baffling this movie is.
Yeah.
I love how confusing it is. It's such a wild swing. Things come out of nowhere, as you mentioned. It is definitely bad, and I think I would watch it again. And so I'm going to go with maybe a -4.
-4. All right. It feels like it takes a long time to get going, and we don't get enough Phantom early on. I wish we got more Phantom because every time he's the Phantom, it's fun and it's fun to laugh at. I wish Billy Zane brought a little bit more to the table and was kind of pumped up even more. He is pretty dry. So with all that, like, I agree with Patrick. I would watch it again. I'm going to give this thing a -5.
-5. Right in the middle.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We have had a blast. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for Patrick for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys. What a blast.
Is your YouTube channel active at this point?
Yes, you can follow our Improvised Hollywood Roundtable podcast. It's called Artists on Artists on Artists on Artists. And you can follow me on YouTube at Patrick McDonald. I have a short film there that I made called I Live in Your House.
It's
and
so good.
New stuff coming
Really,
out soon.
really good.
It would not work for this channel.
No, thank you.
You're
Yeah.
quite
Means
welcome.
the world.
It's just awesomely.
Please never watch it. Please never watch it here.
Well, I think we can all agree that this movie was unbelievable!
I thought it was incredible, or I kind of said both.
I thought at the end of the show you all screamed awesomely awful, so I was going to scream awesomely awful.
We all yelled different things.